Yeah. All right. Hopefully we're back. You guys are gonna have to pick up the stories.
Okay,
Everything's
I got the
super
next one. Come to
glitchy.
us live from RPG site. Front Mission 2 Remake date announcement trailer confirms October 5th as new release date. Damn, that's just over a month away. Not bad. Let me see. The game originally was released in 1997, so wow. Wow, we're going back a while, aren't we?
The
Uh,
PlayStation 2 one game.
wow, yeah, I forgot about that. Let me see. This will eventually come out on PS5, PS4. It's coming out on everything good, except for the Switch.
I probably will buy the retail Switch physical copy.
The Switch will probably get the watered down version eventually. Like I said, the Switch gets the hand me downs.
I don't know, because like the original Front Mission remake, which came out a year ago, came out first. So it's coming to Switch first, and then they're doing the other versions later.
Oh no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. All right.
No, it actually says it all right here. I was just kidding. The remake is only slated to come to Nintendo Switch, but future releases of other platforms are in question, or not out of the question.
Yeah.
I
All
that's
right.
funny.
Um.
Yeah, engaging storylines to show you turn-based combat, one-serve customization, modernized battle scenes, free camera options, modern in-game effects, renewed soundtrack, 9 language localization. So, oh yeah.
All right.
One of the bullet points was improved load times, as opposed to the PlayStation 1, whose load times were probably notoriously terrible. They have to mention that.
Yeah. All right. Next story, Eric. You guys just go back and forth. I'm working on some technical issues here.
Hey, my screen went blank. I don't know why.
All right, I'll just read it then.
Stuff's loading. Oh, I got it. Never mind.
Okay.
The original Persona feature phone game. By feature phones, they mean like stuff like Take Como and stuff like that, not like Apple and Android. But it was a port of Megami Inbroku Persona Iku no Tohen, which means "Be Your True Mind." So yeah, that's a weird subtitle for the first Persona game.
Be Your Own Mind.
Yeah.
That sounds like a concept album from like Bowie or something.
But according to this article, the mobile phone port of Persona is not the same thing as the PSP re-release, which was a slight. It was somewhere in between a slightly enhanced port and a remaster, because they added a new soundtrack and they touched up some of the visuals and fixed some of the gameplay elements that were a little too dated, and then updated the UI. But beyond that, the game's basically the same.
Right.
But this is actually a spin-off of the original PS1 Persona-based game, but it uses a lot of the same assets. That's why I got confused. Otherworldly Tower Chapter is the name of the game, but of this game specifically. But set during the original game and immediately following the party's battle in the Civic building, where the protagonist's companions are transported to an otherworldly tower. So I'm guessing in the base game that happens, and then like we don't actually get to see what happens, and then they come out. And this game takes place during that time frame. But it's interesting to see like a mobile phone port come out years after the fact, and maybe it'll be localized, but doubtful, because the other G mode releases of the other Shin Megami games, like Shin Megami Tensei 1, recently got released a few years back, and I think 2 did too, but those haven't been announced for localization yet.
All right. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. Next story break. Sorry.
Maybe they're planning on doing a port of Persona along with this afterwards. That'd be nice.
Quit breaking the show, Frank.
I know.
Coming to us live from RPG site, time-driven exploration game, The Time I Have Left, launches in 2024 for PC. That sounds interesting.
Freak is exiled, you son of a bitch.
Let me see here. I'm going for the bullet points, see if there's anything really. Time-driven story and gameplay. Haste makes waste. Your time is meant to be spent. After each level, the timer will adjust to keep up with the story, so leave the area in the nick of time to get the most of each level. Jeez. I like to play games at my own pace, so then sounds like you got to rush through her to get to everything. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
It'll launch next year, and it sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, Eric, next story, please.
I have to reload my browser because it got messed up.
Yeah, shit. Next story, Breakman. We're relying on you,
Okay,
Breakman.
I gotta load it. I didn't have it loaded. Give me a second here. Coming to us live from Komatsu. Rugrats Adventures in Gameland announced for consoles and PC. What? Because like the Captain Caveman franchise wasn't outdated enough for you?
Actually, I might have to reboot my computer entirely.
Oh shit. Okay, Eric, I got you, man. My browser's back up. I'll do the next story.
I don't know why. I think your issues transferred to us.
Yeah, I think I infected all of you. All right, go ahead, Eric. We'll wait for you, man.
Why are they making a Rugrats game?
Yeah, good.
That's one of those like dormant franchises, isn't it?
I never liked Rugrats, man. I mean, I heard of a reboot that they're thinking about doing, but I'm like, I don't know. There's this whole theory about Rugrats that it's actually like some like I don't know like thought experiment in the kid's mind where he's like paralyzed or some shit, and
they did actually newer versions of it with kids that are older. And then they did like a 3D version at some point too.
Oh yeah, I hated that 3D version, man. I didn't like the Rugrats at all. All right,
I'm not a fan of Rugrats either.
All right, anything else on that?
That was kind of like past my generation. Yeah, it's gonna launch next year, and let me see. Puzzle platforming combined beloved gameplay from the NES era with modern game design. Multiple. Oh, guess what? This game has multiple levels.
Oh.
With unique themes,
With
secrets, and boss encounters.
Oh.
I mean, I can't believe this. Those are all in here.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, I just can't believe that somebody took the time to actually fucking write that out.
I'm actually surprised that they haven't done DLC where, like, you pay to fight the boss. You know what I mean? Like you can't fight the boss unless you pay for DLC. But
well, here's an interesting one though. Players can toggle between 8-bit and high definition art.
Yeah, that's okay. That's kind of cool. I always like those options. Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else on that break?
No, I'm just why would you even put that in here? Multiple levels, unique theme. Like it's just, hey, this is a video game. You know, there's going to be different levels in it.
All right, I hear you, Freak 5. Go for it. Okay. What is this, Freak 5? Freak 5 just sent me. Oh, that looks interesting. It's got like what the hell is that? A piece of wood? It's like a drink. It's like a dark drink. I'm assuming this is like a Jack and Coke with like a lemon wedge, and like it looks like either a cigar or a piece of wood attached to the thing. But anyways, let me do the next story. You got that one up. Gunbrella launches September 13th. There's the story, Breakman. next.
Gunbrella.
Yeah, Gunbrella. Yeah, there you go. All right, go for it. Next story.
Live from Komatsu, ESRB rates The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 and 4 for PS5.
Yay.
Oh, there we go. Both titles are currently available for Switch, PS4, and PC. And still nothing announced for Xbox.
Freak 5 says, what are boss battles? How dare you, Freak 5?
Why would they make an Xbox release of a game that's only sold on a PlayStation platform?
I was kidding. Okay.
NIS doesn't make enough on the Xbox platform for them to do that all the time.
A handful of sequences depict character. Here's some of the reasons for the ratings of the game. A handful of sequences depict a character drinking alcohol and smoking cigars. And in one sequence involves a drinking contest.
Yeah. The
word shit and asshole are heard in the game.
I'm glad they're coming to PS5, though.
I like how the ESRB's descriptions of certain games make it sound worse than it actually is.
Holy shit, that's the greatest thing I've ever heard, yeah. Freak 5.
Dialogue has such as, you've got quite the promising pair, though the pale in comparison to Emma's. A prolonged sequence in which a woman gropes another character's chest. Ah, smooth and squishy to the touch.
Yeah, stuff like
Jesus
that.
Christ.
Those are the things in the Cold Steel games I rather wish that they hadn't done. And like dive all into the like shoujo aspect of it.
Yeah, the women groping other women.
Shonen, sorry, more shonen than shoujo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They figured since they can't have guys harassing girls anymore, they're just gonna have girls harassing girls now.
Yeah, because that's better, right?
Just that's not problematic at all.
No,
but,
no, it's not problematic at all.
I think people raked the director over the coals of that, and so he said with Crow he was gonna get away from stuff like that. So
I mean, look,
hopefully
there's room for that type of stuff, right? We talk about not room for groping women. I'm not saying that. I mean,
but as far as like groping women, it's in like almost every anime type stuff. Like it's hard to find animes where women aren't treated like shit.
yeah. I mean, what I mean by what I said, let me clarify. There's room for sexual content, not in that manner.
Mhm.
You know what I mean in video games. And Eric,
adult content.
Break and I have talked about it ad nauseum. Let me do the next story from
Well, how we talk about it when we do when Eric points out the sales of those.
Yeah. Freak 5 said, I know. Freak 5, a weed infused Coke and 150.
Yeah, well, at least with hentai, you know what you're getting into.
Right,
exactly.
right. Yeah, I mean, there is. I mean, like I said, there's room for not not for groping women inappropriately, but there's room for sexual content in video games. Break and I have talked about this ad
All I
nauseum.
know is
Hold on, Eric.
that Trails in the Sky didn't have this crap in, and then once Trails in the Zero and Al came out, they slowly creep shit like this in, and
Yeah.
I want it to go away.
Well, I understand that, Eric, but like what Freak
It's an
5 is saying.
otherwise good series, but then it has weird shit like that.
Yeah,
in it.
Freak 5 says, why not just make it consensual? That's exactly right. To just say,
It's like,
"Ooh."
I think they like it's like a kink or something like in
Yeah.
Japanese culture. Like,
Yeah.
No, at this point, it's them using the lame ass excuse of it. It's tradition. The genre has always done this, so we're going to continue to do it.
I am one for traditions
But the
dying.
genre was dictated by men who were horny and not well adjusted to the modern era, and they're even older now, so they're not going to change their
I
ways.
wonder, are there any women in Japan making hentai?
There's plenty.
Because I'm not aware of
just
any.
as horny as guys are, and
I understand it,
I
Eric.
think
But
it has more to do
Eric,
with society at large than
Eric,
it does.
you always undermine my point by interrupting me, dude.
You asked the question, so I'm
I didn't.
he wasn't finished though.
I wasn't even finished with what I was saying, Eric. You undermine. It makes me seem. It makes everybody seem like I'm saying the opposite of what I want to get across. That's what I'm telling you, Eric. Every time you do that, it like throws the point off. Like it makes it contentious between you and I, and there's no contention. I'm 100% agreeing with you, but I'm just asking questions. That's all. Let me get back to chat here. Freak 5 says a weed infused Coke and $150 blunt. Jesus, what is there? An ounce of weed in that blunt, man? Holy
It's just
shit!
like a foot long blunt.
I wish I could show you guys, man. It's crazy. It's just, I mean, looks fantastic. I wonder where this is at. It's got to
How
be
big is the
Amsterdam.
cup in that Coke?
It's like I don't know. It's like a whiskey glass, I would say.
Is it like that blunt that Snoop Dogg had in that one?
Yes. Yes.
It's like 3 foot blunt.
Well, I mean, it's probably a good 7 inches.
God.
Something like that, man. All right, let me get to the next story. We got to get through this news. In Izanagi Games and Hotel Dusk, Room 215 writer Rika Suzuki announced mystery adventure game Dark Auction Hitler's Estate for Switch and PC. So there you go. It will launch for Switch in 2024 and PC via Steam with English, Japanese, traditional Chinese, and simplified Chinese language support. So there you go. All right, next story. Let's go with Eric.
Next story is Shepherd's Crossing has got a release date, and it's coming out for Switch, and it'll be priced at $29.99. And this is a simple farming game, pretty much.
Cool. Another farming game. All right, Break, next story,
Yeah, I'm
please.
all for more games that are non-violent.
I agree with you, Break. But like, do something different. Why don't you do like I don't know, like not a sim game, but like something like an urban graffiti making game or something like that. You know, something a little mischievous and but
I
like
don't
kind of.
know. I was just thinking it was going to be a good thing for like little kids to play.
Well,
and
of
stuff like
course,
that.
man. There's always room for that, like the Kirby games of the world. No doubt,
Yeah.
man. No doubt. I mean, that's fine. And just
As low budget visuals this game is using, I think $30 is a steep asking price.
I do too, man. All right, Break. Next story, please.
Coming to us live from Gamatsu, Otogi Katsugeki Mameda no Bakaru
Good enough, man.
Oracle Saitaru no Sainan. Or is it Nan? Is it Sainan or Sainan?
Sign on, man. I think.
Okay. Launches November 30th in Japan. God, I'm one day I'm gonna get a nasty email from somebody in Japan. Like, what the fuck is your problem?
You know, we do have listeners in Japan. Oddly enough, Break. So
And yeah, if they're listening, please understand I'm not doing it on purpose. I really am this stupid.
he's doing it on purpose. This is a work, guys. I'm telling you, he's doing this shit on purpose. It's like a wrestler. How a wrestler always has to, be the antagonist most of the time. That's a Break, man. He totally wants you guys to like hate his guts.
Some background information on this game. It is basically a spiritual successor to the Goemon series.
Oh,
I want to read this sentence because it was there's a typo in it, and I will be available both physically and digitally.
I twill.
Yeah.
Because twill is a word. It is a word. Freak Five says, going back to your comment earlier, Freak Five. Why not just make it consensual? I totally agree. They could totally do that in those games, and they don't. It's just it's a societal norm.
Harassment, like the random sexual harassment, is like the du jour for a lot of anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's feels like it's part of the culture. Like they need the women to resist.
Yeah. Or be
Yeah.
submissive. There's always that.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah. If you listen to the Scathing Atheist podcast, the host Noah Lugiones shared it on Facebook. The weed infused drink and the big ass thing. It's got to be. It better be about an ounce of weed in that blunt, man. Freak Five says, "Good thing I am not playing the drinking game tonight. I would be trashed just from break trying to read that headline."
Anyways, here's the basic plot.
Well,
All right, go ahead, Eric, quickly.
Basic plot of this is that you're a Tanuki boy named Bakaru, who's disguised as a human and uses taiko drums, and various actions related to those drums to defeat a festival army wreaking havoc through the fantasy version of Japan.
Okay.
As opposed to Goemon, who is a thief.
Right. Okay. Let's move on to the next story, and I'll do this one. This is from Gamatsu. Cuisinier launches November 9th. Available at 10% off discount price for the first week of release. Let's see. What is it about here? A wholesome food-focused game where you play... We talked about this before.
well, you just said why not something different? This is
Yeah,
different. This is
that's what I'm
different.
saying. That's why I'm reading it, Break. Where you play as Palm, a young adventurer turned restaurateur. They misspelled it. They said restaurateur. One day you return to your hometown of Pael to manage your parents' restaurant. I think I read this before, actually.
Maybe it's actually correct, though, because, like, they're an entrepreneur, but they're also running a restaurant.
Maybe. Craft your own delicious culinary experience, a smorgasbord of dungeons, master the flavors of fighting, take quests to go.
So
I like that.
It's a dungeon crawler where you go through the dungeon to look for ingredients to run your restaurant.
Right. I'm trying to play man, I hope it looks really cool. This looks like we talked about something different. This is definitely different. The gameplay, it's very vibrant. It reminds me, the art style, a little bit of Bastion, if you can
Also,
believe
your
that.
character's a cat girl.
Yeah, and it's really cute. This is, you want to talk about some wholesome stuff. This might be it. That other story in this one. So, good news there. Breakman. So okay, Eric, next story, please.
Oh, next story is J. Joe: Wrath of Cobra, which is a side-scrolling beat 'em up, which is weird because most of the Joes fight with guns and shit.
Yeah. All right.
So,
I guess.
So they saw turtles and they're like, "Hey, we can do that too."
I want them to give like different lineups of Joes. There are like hundreds of Joes, and it's always the same ones. We always get Duke and Snake Eyes and Lady J, or not Lady J. Like she would be nice. We'll usually get Scarlet. Yeah.
And apparently there's going to be post-launch support, so maybe it'll be DLC where you play as Cobra.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yep.
All right. It looks like you'll be able to use guns at some points, so
yeah,
maybe it's not all fist action.
All right, let's move on.
I need to see more of this. I like brawlers. I love the beat 'em ups. They're good for like, you just want to kind of relax and just button mash type thing,
Yeah. All right, break. Next story, please.
It's coming 2024.
Yeah.
2024. Right. Okay. Coming to us live from Gamatsu. Ebenezer and the Invisible World launches November 3rd. Christmas-themed Metroidvania inspired by Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol.
Oh, I like that.
I just thought it was like they're just using Ebenezer because it was a cool-sounding name. No, wow.
Also, it's a Metroidvania that looks like it has some Souls-like or Hollow Knight inspirations.
Hollow Knight,
so maybe,
I was going to say.
Maybe the three major bosses are the ghosts of Christmas past.
I think they probably are.
You know what? That would be really cool, and do some type of mechanic where, like, the ghost of Christmas past, like, takes you to the past, or like if he hits you with an attack, it like takes you to the beginning of the battle or some shit. That would be fucking rocking, man.
I wonder what Ebenezer fights with then. Money, maybe?
He throws money at Tiny Tim, or no, he takes money from people. Like he's a thief. He like has the ability.
Or he pays people to fight for him.
That's what I was thinking. It's like he just pays whoever's next to him. Like, hey, fight them for me. No, I'm not going to. Here's $1,000.
Right.
Where do you want me to hit them?
Right.
Let me see. Embark on a story-rich 2D Metroidvania adventure with breathtaking hand-drawn art. It looks good. Playing as miser turned hero, Ebenezer Scrooge. I like that, miser turned hero, and a reimagined Victoria fantasy based on Charles Dickens' classic. Join Ebenezer Scrooge and a team of spectral allies as they battle to save London from the clutches of the wealthy industrialist Caspar Malthus and his melted private guard.
I think
ghosts lending their unique abilities, explore the dark corners of London, and cover the sinister influence of the dark spirit.
You know, I think Eric hit hit it right on the head here. It's basically Hollow Knight with inspired, colorful visuals, and it looks as unforgiving as like a Dark Souls, but in a good way, like Salt and Sanctuary. So this might be a sleeper hit here.
Or Blasphemous, that one.
Blasphemous, yeah, a little bit of blasphemous. I mean, that's really cool concept, man. I mean, we're getting some really, really creative.
Basically,
games.
A lot of it seems like you gather materials to do to make new items and attacks, probably. So you're gonna use alchemy, I guess.
I guess, but it looks really good. It looks very polished.
Time for the holidays. I want to try this. This looks like fun. I like the art style.
Yeah, maybe it'll be a Game Pass game, man.
It doesn't say.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah, I'm not holding my breath for that.
Yeah. All right. Last story comes to us from Gamatsu. Narrative wartime RPG Long Gone Days launches October 10th for PS5's Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Excuse me. So there's a trailer that
We've been talking about this game for a while now.
Yeah, in Long Gone Days, embark on a journey where you will grapple with numerous real-world complexities, including an intricate web of language barriers. That's interesting. Every encounter becomes... Well, we've always played video games with language barriers, but not intricately, right? Like there are narrative-driven stories like where you have to decipher like a whole ancient alien race's language by getting clues here and there, but you've never had to like in real time like deal with that like in real life, right? So that's kind of an interesting concept. I wouldn't mind that. It's kind of like a puzzle type thing. Every encounter becomes a pivotal moment as the ripples of your choices extend to shape the fates of those around you. Can you rise above those formidable barriers, forging connections that transcend linguistic confines, or will the unforgiving grasp of warfare shatter the fragile bonds you endeavor to build? The answers lie in your hands as you navigate a narrative that delves deep into the essence of shared humanity. This is like a really deep game. Like this could be like one of those strategy games where like and it has to deal with linguistics and other shit. Man, this is high concept gameplay if they could pull it off here. I'm interested. What do you think, Break?
I'd definitely like to see more of that. I love the idea of your choices having a bigger effect on the world.
Now the graphics are rudimentary. I mean, it looks like
I'm okay with the graphics being blah or whatever, as long as they deliver on true experience like that. Like
right.
We've gotten that so many times where our experience where we're told like all of our decisions will truly affect the world and stuff like that, but not really. It hasn't really happened. I mean, Fallout gets close, but it doesn't really.
Well, there's always been those language trees, right, Breakman, where you're right. Like at first they branch out, but they seem to all come back to the center. You know what I mean? Yep. And it would be nice to see them expand out and just stay out. You know what I mean? Like just stay that direction. So I don't know. We'll see if this game can pull it off, man. I mean,
and like it's saying, effect in the bigger world, like say and for instance in Fallout, like I'm basically a tyrant when I'm playing Fallout, and I go from one town and like people won't know me and stuff like that, but like I want to be like I'm a horrible person. My name should be going throughout the wasteland, you know?
Right.
They should be expecting me and ready for a fight when I
or you play a game, Breakman, where you're like that. You're like, you know, like a horrible dude, and you have a reputation far and wide, but like you get to certain places and like nobody knows who you really are, but then when they find out, their like jaws drop, you know, and then they're like really afraid of you. And yeah, man, that would be really fucking cool. Or the opposite, you're known as like a peacemaker, and everybody has really high respect for you and stuff like that. But I've never
kids want your autograph.
Yeah, I've never ever played a game like that. Have you? What's the closest that you've come?
Fable probably is the closest because it doesn't. But again, I've said it before. Like in Fable, I'd have like I'd be married to one person in one town, and go marry another person in another town, stuff like that. So your actions didn't affect the bigger world.
Right.
But that sounds really interesting to me.
Yeah. Freak5 says, last night I had a DoorDash order that paid $17 for me to bring them a bathroom scale from Walgreens. I had no idea where those were be. I think you were at. So I was just looking down aisles to try to find it. One aisle had adult diapers. The men on the boxers were insanely happy about being able to shit their pants. Oh man, that's funny. All right, that must be how dare you son of a bitch. I'm not reading that. Son of a bitch, you're exiled. I'm not reading that.
That must be how Frank always looks.
How dare you, Breakman? Just because I can't read it doesn't. How dare you?
My bad. I did not.
Son of a bitch. Okay. No homie discounts this week. We did anti-homie discounts. No dear Breakman this week. So let's go to
Inquiring minds want to know.
What you been playing this week, Break?
Mostly a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Just trying to level up my characters. I suck. I'm not very good at all.
I would suck even worse than you, Break. Don't feel bad.
My big problem is there's no maps. So like 3D environments, I'll start running around in circles and shit when I'm trying to go someplace. Wait, shit, I was just here. God damn it.
Yeah. Hold on, Bernie's having a coughing attack.
Sorry.
Are you affecting her too?
I am.
To everybody, Frank.
We've had a cold all week, man. So you know.
So you infected her. You infected Eric's computer. What else have you done now?
I infected my computer.
Oh,
Jesus.
your own computer? Yeah.
All right, continue on. Break.
So yeah, it's mostly that, and it's fun either way you play it. If you play the victim or the family, as they're called. Each has their own unique abilities, and it works the way they made it. But I still, my biggest problem is still like the wait in between games, like the wait time in the lobby, and then after you finally get out of the lobby, it gives you like an instruction video of what your goals are. Like, so I've got to sit here and watch this like 30-second video before the match even starts. Come on, like every time. They need to do something about that.
Yeah, it's like I'm getting sick of going to YouTube and watching a 2-minute video, and then having like a minute long fucking or 30-second long ad, man. It's like, come on, man. Give me a 5-second ad, I can deal with that. But man, I mean every fucking time, 15, 30 seconds, man. I mean, come on. But I just need to get YouTube whatever plus or whatever the fuck they call it.
I've thought about that before. Like, and I'm like, I don't want to give them money.
I know, I don't want to give them money either, but then you think about it, like the amount of time you could save, just and then you don't have to worry about hitting that skip ad button all the time, and
the worst part is they love to interrupt you in the middle of like a video, like a song or something like that.
You know what's even worse is the videos that have like paid promotions in the middle of them. So you already get the YouTube ads, right? So like you said, in the middle of somebody talking, there's an ad, and then there'll be a paid promotion that the YouTuber is doing, and then you try to skip that because you can skip that, but then YouTube's like, oh no, you don't. You tried to skip ahead a little bit. Here's another ad for you. You know, fucking sucks, man.
Dick move.
Yeah. All right, Eric, what you been playing, man?
Just over the weekend, I finished Blasphemous 2, and then I moved on to Diablo 2 for a bit, and then Sea of Stars came out, and then I played that for a bit, and decided I'd save that because I've got Mario Kingdom Chronicles to go through, but I might just go back to Sea of Stars because I've got a 3-day weekend to get through it.
Yeah.
So, Mario King, I played the second Rhapsody game because it's weird because on the PlayStation and Switch releases, the game makes you play through Rhapsody 2 before you can even touch Rhapsody 3. You can't pick. But on Steam, they're sold separately.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if I get the ability to choose which once I have access to the third game.
I don't know.
Because it'd be really weird to make me play through all of it at once.
All right.
But anyways, that's all I've been really playing.
All right. Freak Five says
I played a tiny amount of Armor Core 6 over the weekend, and then I said, yeah, I'm gonna finish Blasphemous 2, and then put that on the back burner because Sea of Stars is coming out in a couple days. So.
All right. Freak Five says the grocery store I was in earlier this week had free contraceptives. Little kid was screaming his head off for a long time. I wonder if that was why he was screaming his head off, Freak Five. He liked to go bareback.
Mommy, please buy me some condoms.
I know. Why can't I buy these condoms? Why are they free? Anyways, I played more Breath of the Wild, guys. I'm coming up. I have only 8 shrines left and four side quests left. 2 DLC quests and 2 just regular side quests, and they're all in Hyrule Castle, which I'm saving for the very end. I have been in Hyrule Castle just a little bit, and it's not as bad as what I thought it was gonna be, but you know, it's
I'm just up the Hylian shield in the basement.
I did not yet. I might have to do that, but
you definitely should. It's a nice shield.
Yeah,
but all shields you don't want to use against like the lion elves or something like that. That sucks. You'll have a nice shield, they'll break it in one hit.
I know, man. Fucking Lionels. You just have to... You know what I learned about the Lionels? I have beaten a few, but they're hard as hell, man. You just have to time the jumps. You know, like you jump from to the side or back, and you can hit them a bunch of times. But I'm not super good at that. I can do it sometimes, but other times I'm like, oh, fuck, I better just get the fuck out of here. You know?
I like to freeze him and knock him down, and then I'll like jump on his back and hit him some more.
Yeah, jumping on their back is. You know, I did find out that you can tame Lionels.
You can tame them, really?
Yeah, I saw a video on it. I was like, holy shit, you can
but they
tame
won't
them.
let you register, will they?
They will not let you register it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that sucks.
I know.
Like, I wanted to register my skeleton horse so bad.
I know. I now see the horses are like no big thing to me anymore because I got that motorcycle. If you get the DLC and you do all the DLC or these this mainline kind of quest on the
You
DLC.
have like Phoenix materials though to keep it going.
I've never run into that.
The best material is the ancient art, all the ancient materials stuff.
Yeah, I haven't run into that yet. I still have like a half tank or gas or whatever, but it's the motorcycle is like the way to go, man. Like that thing fucking rocks, man. It's really fucking cool. You should get that DLC eventually, Break, if they ever have a sale on it, man. It's worth it. I think it takes you through a lot more shit, man. A lot more shrines and just stuff in general. That's
Nice.
yeah. But yeah, that's all I've been doing. Like I said, I have 8 shrines left and 4 little side quests, and then beaten Ganon, and then that's pretty much it for me. I'm definitely not gonna get all the Korok seeds because there's like 900 of them, and then I'll have to save my pennies to get Tears of the Kingdom, and then
900 Korok seeds for a turd.
Yeah, I thought about getting it, but I don't know. Man.
You don't need that many weapon and arrow and shield slots.
Yeah, not really. But I mean, it would help me. I mean, I've been pouring all my stuff into all my Korok seeds into like weapons instead of like.
That should be the main goals, weapons. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, imagine if you did like something like that. How long would it take you? It'd take you fucking hours of your life to collect those. And what do you get for you get a turd? What are you gonna do in 30 fucking years with that turd? You're gonna brag to your grandchildren.
I know.
I was your age.
I got a turd.
There's actually a very specific reason that I would do it, but it's kind of personal. Maybe one day I'll tell you guys why I would do it personally, but yeah, it's a hell of a game. And then the Korok seeds aside, like I even have that Korok mask, but even with the Korok mask, like you'll know that there's a Korok seed in the area, but it's not like the shrine indicator where you can like be led to it, like you can see the direction. But it just sometimes it takes you 10-15 minutes to, and then I mean think about that. 10-15 minutes doesn't sound like a long time, but 10-15 minutes times 700. That's a lot of hours.
There's a video on YouTube telling you exactly where it is.
Yeah.
Can you pick the one thing? Look for Koroks.
The what?
The you know how you can change the
no.
shrine?
No. You can't.
Do it with Koroks? Okay.
The closest thing is getting.
I don't think they're scannable. That's why.
Yeah, they're not scannable, but the closest thing is getting that Korok mask, which it will. It gives you a little indicator, and it does get a tiny bit louder when you get close to it, but it's not like the shrine indicator where you're headed in the right direction. It's like a big radius. It's like I don't know. It's just it's kind of maddening sometimes, but. And I tried for a while, found a few, and I'm like, fuck that, man. That would take way too much time. But I actually do have a reason. Maybe I'll talk about it one day. But all right, that's about all I've been playing. So let's move on to reviews.
RPGrinders reviews.
All right, Break. Do you have any reviews?
I do, and it seems like we all have actually seen the same damn movie. So do you want to do that first, or do you guys want to do your other ones?
I'll do my review first, and then Frank can do his special reviews, and then we can all cover the Flash.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds good. Let's see. Eric, why don't you start?
So yeah, I normally wouldn't do this because it's an old-ass movie from 30 years ago, but I saw the 3D version of Jurassic Park 3D during National Cinema Day, which all movie ticket prices were $4. And it looked really, really good. Because, like, the thing is, most post-edit 3D conversions aren't that great because they don't add to the product. But here it felt like they actually committed to making the scenes look like they were made to be in 3D.
Yeah, I saw it too in 3D when I had a 3D TV, and it's pretty spectacular.
So yeah, I think this is actually a new master based off the 4K release, because you can buy the Jurassic Park 3D Blu-ray disc, but I don't think they sell that anymore. It's out of print because 3D TVs don't exist really anymore.
Yeah, like I said, I used to have that, and it was good. It was really good.
Because the quality of the 4K conversion looks so good. It looked like a movie. Like if it weren't for the level of technology being used 30 years ago, you could swear it was a movie that was made recently. Because that's how good the conversion is.
Yeah, yeah. So what are you giving
But
Jurassic Park 3D, Eric?
I'm giving it a 9.5.
Yeah, pretty good, man. It's a
I
great.
was kind of hoping maybe they would have added some deleted scenes to extend the runtime a bit
Yeah.
and give a little bit of extra flavor to seeing the movie again.
If they would have done that, would you have given it a 10?
Probably.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty good though, man. If you have a chance to see it in 3D, it's
So I think there
definitely
is
worth it.
a bunch of deleted footage that I never got to see because I never rented the DVD or the Blu-ray of Jurassic Park.
I can't remember if my 3D copy had any
I
extra
should probably
footage.
buy the 4K release.
There is an extended version somewhere though. I can't remember if it was DVD or something. I have to look back in the archives. But all right. Anything else, Eric, on Jurassic Park 3D?
Nope.
All right, real quickly, I'm going to go through these really quick because I got a bunch. The first movie I'm going to tackle is Shackled. Shackled's a movie about a woman that finds herself in the back of a pickup truck, shackled to the back of a pickup truck, an old pickup truck, and she's basically unconscious, and she wakes up, and it's like this. I don't know, movie length mystery, I guess. Hold on a second, Bernie's having a hard time again. But Shackled's it's a decent movie with all too predictable twist. I don't know, it's a little tropey at the end, but it's decent. I think it's worth giving it a watch. I saw it on Tubi, I believe, or Amazon Prime. I can't remember, but it's worth watching. The lead actress is pretty good. Pretty good little actress. I've never seen her in anything else, but she's pretty good in this movie. And I give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's worth a watch if you have an hour and a half, especially if it's on Tubi for free. Just deal with a few commercials. The second movie also deals with a person that's chained up. Oddly enough, it's called Chained. So we have Shackled, and now we have Chained. And Chained is about a little boy who gets kidnapped with his mom by a serial killer. And the serial killer is portrayed by Vincent D'Onofrio, who's Kingpin in The Punisher, if you remember that, Breakman.
Well, he's good at playing psychopaths, too.
He is really good at playing almost any role, but especially psychopaths for sure. It's really weird because it starts off really harrowing, and it never relents on being harrowing, but it's sort of, I hate to say this, but oddly kind of touching in a way. But under the guise of this guy's a fucking serial killer, and he kind of twists the mind of the kid that's being shackled, and there's a heck of a twist at the end of this movie, and I don't want to spoil it. I think this movie is definitely worth watching. I give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. I mean, it's just almost as good as one of these type of movies can get. D'Onofrio's really good. What were you gonna say, Bernie?
That was crazy. It was a crazy movie.
It is crazy, and it's harrowing, and it's sometimes tough to watch, but it's really good.
I recommend watching it just so you can see the end.
Yeah, the end is really good. It's got a heck of an ending. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10 on that one. If you get a chance to see it, it's on. I believe it's on Amazon Prime, but you can rent it everywhere and stuff like that. It's a movie that was made in 2012. I'm surprised I haven't seen it before now, but. Let's see. Stonado is the shittiest movie that I saw, and the reason that I watched this movie is because I like I like stupid movies like Sharknado. They're so bad they're good, kind of B movie type things.
Wait, is it called Stonado because they're all like hungover on weed or something?
That would have been an infinitely more fun movie, Eric. But no, it's basically about tornadoes that start out in the sea and somehow they pick up rocks from the coast.
Oh, yeah, because that's what tornadoes do.
Right, exactly right. Hey, Slagar, welcome to chat, man. Nice to have you in here. But this movie, I thought this was going to be in line with Sharknado, but it falls completely flat on all levels. The acting isn't even B movie level acting good, so bad it's good. It's not. There's no redeeming quality about this movie. The plot is super. I mean, I expect these movies to be super thin plot wise, but implausible times a million. It's not even fun. There's no goofiness to it. They're taking themselves way too seriously, and it's just one of those movies, that just it doesn't click on any level. So, Stonado. A whopping. I give them an A for effort, I guess, but a 1 out of 10. It's
More
really,
like
really bad.
Donado.
Yeah. I like Eric's idea where like a tornado picks up a bunch of weed.
A weed NATO.
Yeah, weed NATO, where it picks up a
Gets
bunch
everybody
of,
high.
Yeah, that would be cool, and it picks up people in the tornado, and they're all, whoa, man, it's like they're having a great old time. But no, this movie is none of that. It's no fun whatsoever. Highly recommend not watch that movie. All right, now we're on to what everybody saw this weekend, The Flash. Anybody want to start? Eric, break.
Sorry. If you want, Eric.
I feel like this is a good example of how not to make a film. But despite how bad it is, I enjoyed the train wreck it was.
I enjoyed the movie too, but I definitely did not love it. Like, they said it was an artistic and stylistic choice to make the 3D intentionally look bad because they wanted the audience to see it from Barry's perspective. But it doesn't work that way. It just looks like bad CGI. Like the babies at the beginning of the movie just look like bad CGI babies.
I like the plot of this movie quite a bit.
Special effects in Blue Beetle are definitely better than what was going on in this movie.
Yeah, I kind of like the plot in this movie, Eric. I know it has some issues, but yeah, go ahead, bro.
My biggest problem with this movie is it's based on the Flashpoint.
Yes, Flashpoint,
which is a good story. It's been done a lot better. Like the cartoon Flashpoint movie is fantastic.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it makes this one pale in comparison. It really does.
Yeah, Bernie and I watched this together, and we both liked it. Especially Bernie. Bernie really liked this movie, and I was telling her that the Flash Paradox cartoon is like better, but I understand why they couldn't do a lot of what they did in Flashpoint on screen because it's like. Extremely difficult to take those concepts to live action, and they tried their best. But I'm gonna have her watch Flashpoint with me, and then we'll discuss it afterwards, her and I. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. Something was missing here, right?
Well, going back to special effects, like it just there were so many really cool ideas that would have looked that if they would just gave us good special effects would have made this movie so much better.
Yeah.
Like for instance, at the end when they have all those cameos, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody like who hasn't seen it.
Also, they used footage of certain actors' likenesses without their consent because they were dead.
And all of them look terrible. Like they were all like blued out.
Yeah,
or something.
The ones that weren't dead, they were just used without permission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they all look terrible. Like it was just like, is this a made-for-TV movie I'm watching? What's going on here?
Yeah, I know that did detract a little bit. I mean, and then another thing that I want to hit on too, Ezra Miller. You mentioned it in chat break.
Worst Flash ever.
I think his Flash portrayal is uninspired. I really do.
I don't like him as an actor. I think like I didn't like him in the Justice League. Just like he's trying. Like it's just there's something so off about him. I just can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, I think they need to replace him. And his off the screen stuff is definitely bleeding into his on the screen persona.
You mean like his personality or something like that?
I don't know if it's personality. I think
I've heard about his off screen stuff, but like that doesn't like affect how I feel about his performance.
No. But that's what I'm saying.
I can't fathom why James Gunn's continuing to use him.
Well, I think this is it for him, Eric, to be honest. I mean, they were right in the middle of production. And as a matter of fact, I don't believe this Flash is going to, like, James Gunn's universe is going to start soon. I don't think this movie is going to be part of that mainstream DC universe and James Gunn's vision. I don't think we've seen it yet, because I've seen articles on comic book, what is it? I can't remember the website, but where James Gunn is talking about his vision for the DCU and some of the upcoming movies. I know Blue Beetle wasn't part of that, but they really should add Blue Beetle, because I enjoyed that movie too. I enjoyed this movie too, but I think Ezra Miller is just
When did you
uninspiring.
watch Blue Beetle?
I watched pieces of Blue. Actually, I can't tell you how I watched Blue Beetle, Eric. But I think
the movie overall is enjoyable. It's an enjoyable movie. It's frustrating because we see like this movie could have been so much better.
Yeah, because we've seen it better.
Better special effects, a better actor.
Yeah, we've seen it better.
Michael Keaton in there, who was fantastic.
Yeah, we've seen it better in cartoon form. And that's the problem. I mean, the bar was so high with Flashpoint Paradox that nothing they could have did in this movie would have lived up to that movie at all. I don't think. I mean, even the most inspired actor and a better director, although Muschietti's a really good director. He directed It 1 and 2, but I just agree with you. They need to replace him, and then they need to flesh out that story a little bit more, I think, and do different things, because it's super interesting. And Flashpoint Paradox was just such a great movie, man. It just, the bar is too high. It's way too high.
And I like their version of there are several versions of Batman in this movie, but I like the Flashpoint version of Batman, with the Thomas Wayne version. I wish he was in this movie.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yes.
Like I love Michael Keaton, and he's fantastic. He's definitely a high point in the movie, but like there was the Flashpoint. Thomas Wayne is brutal, and they showed that off in the cartoon. Like you get like one fight scene with Batman, but he's I don't want to spoil anything. But you don't get the sense that like he's like really dangerous.
Not a threat.
He's like,
yeah.
Well, he was a doctor, so he knows how to kill someone.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, there was like a sadistic level to it, but in the start, and they used that Thomas Wayne to add an emotional story to tie in with Batman, which was really touching emotional point.
Yes.
And they just dropped the ball on that. That doesn't happen. Instead, they go for a kind of a funny but lame joke.
And I think it really they dropped the ball at the very, very, very end. I don't want to spoil it, but I just think that last scene they dropped.
Why is this guy drunk?
I do want to spoil one thing though. How come Cyborg's the only fucking Justice League member that's not in the movie?
Oh, because the actor Ray Fisher had some issues with Walter Amada and that whole saga, and he got fired, and he very definitely should have been. They referenced him in the movie, but they didn't put him in, and that's really, really sad. I agree.
I noticed that that was just like a big omission, because he Cyborg was mentioned, but I don't even think they showed like a image of him at all in the movie, did they?
Nope. And
they showed several images of Superman,
or Green Lantern. Or Green Lantern.
Image of him.
Yeah, or Green Lantern. I mean, I was disappointed that there too. But Slagar says here for the One Piece, Armored Core is on my list, but Starfield first. Yeah, everybody's playing Starfield.
We didn't get watching any of the One Piece show yet, so
yeah,
maybe next week.
Yeah. Flash for me gets. I think it's fairly good. I give it a 7 out of 10. What do you guys give it?
6.5.
Okay.
Yeah, same as Break.
All right. Well, I and plus I give it a Bernie factor. I'm going to add a 0.5. I'm going to say 7.5 because Bernie really liked it.
It's not the worst superhero movie, and I think a lot of the jokes land pretty well.
Yeah.
They try and keep it, even though it's a dark story, they try and keep it a bit lighthearted because it is still the Flash,
Yeah.
and I know we've been sitting there trashing on it, but the story itself is pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And
It's not bad.
it's like the Ezra Miller. It'd be better if it was somebody else as an actor.
I agree. I think he's an uninspired actor, to be honest with you. I don't think he's great at all. And to be honest, not a super great looking dude either, to be honest. I mean, to be fair, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, yeah, I think he looks alright.
Well, you would know better than I break. All right, let's move on to everybody's favorite segment.
What is it?
Stinko of the week.
Breakman, your stinko of the week.
I've got several of them. We're running out of time, so I'm gonna try and go through these.
All right,
I got
yeah.
a couple of personal ones. One, we've been having several cable outages in the last couple of weeks. The cable's gone out like 3 or 4 times.
Ugh, hate that.
It's really annoying. Like, they don't give us any discounts when the cable goes off. Just we're sorry. Like, it went off when I was working once. So
Also, my stinker would be, is Ohio all right? Because we've gone through a tornado and an earthquake.
Jesus,
Well,
holy shit.
and we're ran by fastest Nazi wannabes. And my other personal stinko goes to I remember when I used to complain about stores having out their Halloween decorations in like August, late September, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And also the point they've got their Christmas decorations out in August.
Oh yeah.
Really?
I just, fuck's sake, it's summertime, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I guess they're thinking if we do it now, we won't have to do it later when it's colder.
It irritates me to see it's summertime. I'm wearing shorts and I see Christmas trees with lights blinking.
Yeah, it's because Christmas is a big money maker. Break. It's much bigger than even Halloween, and that's how they look at it.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got?
Okay, so the other one's Bob Barker died.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yes, 99 years old.
I'm sorry?
I'm Bob Barker, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another celebrity died, which was more of a shock to me and sadder to me. It was actually Arlene Sorkin died.
I saw that, the original voice of Harley Quinn.
I mean, she was
away.
a very talented voice actor. So
Yeah.
that was sad to see.
Yeah. That's a big ass jump, Slagar says. Yes, it is.
And I got 2 more stories that are kind of connected. And last weekend there was a racist piece of shit went to a Dollar General, I think, and was targeting black people, which is becoming a more and more common occurrence in this country. And he had swastikas on his gun and stuff like that. He legally purchased his guns. They confirmed that. And then there was another incident earlier this week where a man had an argument with his mother and his stepfather. He went upstairs, got his gun, and then murdered his parents. And then he called the police to confess what he did. The reason I bring these 2 stories up specifically is because we've talked a lot about mental health and access to guns and stuff like that, and how certain people shouldn't have guns. The guy who was a racist was involuntarily held in a mental institution at one point in his life.
Wow.
Like, I think a couple years before that. The guy who killed his parents, he said to the cops, I have mental issues. I'm on medication. I guess the medication isn't working anymore.
Wow.
They didn't say how he got the gun, but the way it was sounded, the way he stated, it sounds like he legally purchased a gun too. When we talk all the time about mentally, and the gun people always switch to mental health anytime you bring it up. Mental health's the problem. Well, how come mentally ill people are still getting guns?
How come we aren't helping these mentally ill people?
They don't want us to make new laws because the laws we have are good enough. I keep hearing, like, the laws we have, we need less laws.
Yeah.
Well, mentally ill people are getting guns. People who have been on involuntary withholds, people like myself, should never own a gun.
Yeah, I know.
I should not have access to a gun, not because I'm a danger to other people like this guy was, because at one point I'll have a bad day and that'll be the end.
Well, either that break or you could snap, and you could be in that position.
There's no way. No.
Well, I mean, but see, the possibility is there. Break is all I'm saying.
But I'm a danger to myself, not to others.
Yeah, I know.
But this guy obviously was a danger to others, and he was really indoctrinated into like the Nazi and white supremacy type stuff like that.
See, I've said this for years. I think racism is a mental illness too in itself, and I think it through therapy and stuff you can. I've seen people work through those issues, in talking to therapists and in talking to people of color too. It just takes sometimes some knowledge to get past those issues. You know what I mean? I think. It's just a shame that we can't address the issues. We can, but they choose not to. It's just
well, and like I said, every time we bring it up, like the gun people, the gun nuts specifically go, it's mental health, it's mental health, it's mental health. Well, mental health. Well, we see. I have two perfect examples of mental health being the issue, and access to guns. So why are the mental healthy? I'm pretty sure I could go get a gun.
Yeah.
And another question would be,
And
why aren't we treating the mental health issue people first?
Yeah, I agree. Freak 5 says one stinko. Yeah, go ahead.
One thing we're going to do, I'm sorry to interrupt. One thing we're going to do in Ohio, that one of the big moves they're talking about is replacing our counselors with church chaplains.
Oh dear, for fuck's sake, man. Gee, man.
And the chaplains are like, no, don't do this. This is a bad idea.
Yeah, and what if you're a Muslim? You're gonna go to a chaplain? I mean, get the fuck out of here, man. One stinko.
That's what I thought. Like, what am I gonna like? At that point, there's no. And when I was in high school, there's no way I would have gone to like a Christian chaplain because, and they're putting no rules in it saying that they can't prophesize or stuff like that, so they can't specifically talk about their religion. No, they're not. They'll be able to talk all about their religion.
Yeah, and there's a reason why there's a separation of church and state, and they want to intermingle it back, and it's not right, it's not proper. I'm not saying religion is bad or anything like that, but it does not mix with government at all.
Well, this is enforcing your religion on others.
That's right, and
on the gay community.
Yeah. What about Satanists that think the opposite? That
right.
have,
I said other religions. So
right.
Like all other religions are being pushed aside. I mean, is a Jewish kid going to feel comfortable going to a Christian pastor?
No, absolutely not. They might understand that person has compassion, but the beliefs are completely different. It's I don't know. But let me finish Freak Fives here. This is pretty important. One stinko, my antidepressant ran out, and I couldn't find my refill, so I've been going through withdrawal from it for the last few days. I saw a meme about Bob Barker. It said that he made it as close to 100 as he could without going over. That's actually a really touching tribute, actually, Freak 5, I would say.
I don't know. I think Betty White has him beat by a day, which she was almost 100.
Oh yeah, she got even closer to 100 without going over. I found. This is good news. That probably is your sweeto, Freak 5. I finally found my refill just now and took it. Slagar says, moved to the box and always been glad I did, Slagar said, meaning probably your gun. Right, Slagar? That's a good choice, man. Good choice. Break, every person has the first time. You say you aren't a threat to others right now. You aren't, but everyone has a first time. So you could have a first time to be a threat to someone else. You just never know. I say that when they pour me a tequila, Slagar says. So, yeah, I mean, look, mental health, first and foremost, before everything else. I think there's never been a point in time than right now to address it. This is the time of our lives to address mental health, even though over and over
nobody tell me we don't need more laws, because obviously we do.
Yeah.
I mean, there need to be more restrictions on who can own guns. I shouldn't own a gun. Those two people shouldn't own guns.
Yeah, and I think there's, I mean, AK-47s. I mean, what are you doing, hunting fucking deer with AK-47s? I mean, get the fuck out of here. There's no
armed too? I mean, what the hell?
There's no sport in that, man. I've seen people do that, and I'm like, that's what you're doing? I mean, you get out there with a rifle, maybe. I mean, that I can see that as sport. I mean, I believe that hunting with the bow and arrow is the ultimate.
Yeah. See, I had friends growing up that would go and hunt with crossbow.
Yeah. Now, see,
like, they come home with deer, like that meat was nasty. I had it once. I'm like, nah, I'm good. But like I was like, I have respect for that. You're out there you're out there using a tool. You're not using like the gun, which is the instant kill weapon.
Yeah. And then you can kill too many people at once with semi-auto and auto weapons. It's just I don't know. It's a problem, and I know I'm an advocate for the Second Amendment. I truly believe that this country, but the thing about it is the times have changed from the times of muskets. That's when that amendment was put in, right? And there's no way they could have foresaw that things like that. Matter of fact, they had enough sense to tell us, the founding fathers, that this needs to change and adapt with society, and it hasn't adapted at all, and that's the issue. That's the thing. So, yeah, I agree with you. Anything else, Breakman?
No, that's all my stuff.
All right, Eric, did you have any, or did you already?
Sony, you mentioned earlier.
What?
$20 price hike in or
Oh,
something.
yeah, that's
Like
definitely.
$20 over, that's a year. Like, I was thinking a month. Like, $20 a year is not that bad of an increase.
It's not super terrible, but still, with how they don't want to raise minimum wage.
Like in tens. Now
But and
they're
you know, like,
jumping
they're
to
not
20.
offering you anything new.
They're
That's
not.
the
Matter of
big
fact,
issue.
they're offering way less than what Xbox is, man. It's just I must not be in the same chat or something. Slagar says.
No, you definitely are.
You are. We hear you. We see your
I think there's a
text.
delay.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you can't hear
There's
us.
always going to be a delay.
Yeah, we see you, Slagar. Just a delay. All right. Let's see. Mine. I got a couple here. 105 degrees today here in Denver,
Thank you.
Colorado. I cannot. The only other day that I can remember happened over a decade ago. Excuse me. 107 I remember as the highest it's ever been here. 105 today. And right now I'm sweating with full AC going on in the room. It is fucking god awful hot. It's like I know Phoenix gets really hot, 120 and shit. It feels like that because we're closer to the sun here. So 105 degrees feels like 115, 120 here. So that's what I'm dealing with today. But let's go on to happier thoughts here.
Dude, what does my tattoo say?
Sweet of the week.
All right, Break your Sweeto of the week.
I got a few. We just talked about the what Ohio is trying to do. Texas is trying to do the same thing. Basically, the Ohio Republicans just copy everything Texas does.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to replace the chaplains in schools. Well, 100 chaplains from the state of Texas all combined to write letters saying that this is a terrible idea. And
Yep.
chaplains are not guidance counselors. They are not meant to do this job.
Yeah, I agree.
So even the religious people realize, like, this is insane. This is a bad idea.
Yeah. Totally
Which
bad.
I like that even they're saying, like, no, we should not do this. What are you thinking?
Yeah.
And they even reference, like, their other religions, and like they said, they're not.
So that's what his box
trained.
comment was about. Maybe if you typed in a way that we could understand, we wouldn't, whatever.
What?
I don't know.
It's not that Slayer thinks he's in another chat. It's that we barely can understand what he's saying. Half
No,
the time.
I can understand what he's saying. It's just it's just a delay. That's all. Just a delay. All right.
I got a couple more sweetos. The Tears of Pharma are quite enjoyable. They are in total meltdown over. I hope we do get these lower drug prices. I don't know. I'm weary of it actually going through and stuff like that. But just the fact that Big Pharma is just like completely collapsing over it, right? Just, they're losing their minds. Like, no, that's our money.
Eventually they're gonna get their way, though, right, Break?
I said, I didn't mention the price of the drugs as my sweeto. I just mentioned their tears
Yeah.
because I'm not convinced it's going to happen yet.
Right.
But them going into full meltdown's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And the other one was I was right about Trump going to the debate. Apparently, him not going to the debate has boosted DeSantis back up a bit, and it's made him look weak among the young Republicans.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have boosted. Have gone for Ramaswamy now, for whatever reason. Like I said, Trump should have gone to the debate. They would have been kissing his ass the whole goddamn time.
I know.
He would have came out there looking like gold.
They did anyways, Breakman. They fucking kissed
I know,
up.
but if he was there, he would have got all the benefits. But because he didn't go, he got no benefits. He just got shit on.
Yeah. Yeah.
He hurt himself by not going.
Oh, breaking news. I just got a notice from PlayStation. Pre-order PlayStation Portal remote player today.
Thank you.
That's all my sweetos.
Okay. Slagar says, thought bought Baldur's Gate, I think you mean, but download Path of Exile. The streamers talked me into it. Path of Exile is a great game, man, for sure. I already bought Starfield. I pre-downloaded Starfield. Oh, that's you, Break. Yeah.
Starfield on consoles until they put 60 FPS performance mode in.
Yeah, I Starfield looks interesting, but I'll wait till a sale on that one for sure. Okay, I don't see anything for Sweetos for you, Eric. So mine.
I got one right now that I found on Twitter. But SAG-AFTRA plans to send a strike authorization vote to the video game industry after they fail to meet the needs of the video game actors. So yeah, the video game arm of SAG is finally trying to do unionization.
Okay, cool. All right. Anything else, Eric?
No, that's
Okay.
it, really.
My Sweeto I'm putting up on screen right now. I got the new car, and it's fucking sweet.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you don't have your new car, I was gonna drive to wherever that place is and beat the crap out of them for you.
I got it, man. It's fucking beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see it there, but
Not yet. There's a delay.
it's something else, man. It's everything it's cracked up to be and more, man. It just
I think that's funny too. Freak brings up and a suite of mugshots are public domain, so anyone can make things with Trump's mugshot on them.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny. Trump's the one who released his goddamn mugshots.
well, what's funny is
He's like, I don't want my mugshot out there and stuff like that, and then he's like, and he does it. Like,
yeah. You know what's funny about his mugshot is he did a fundraiser. It said never surrender. Which I thought was a delicious piece of irony. But
I think my favorite comparison, somebody compared that to a famous photograph of Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
Exact same pose.
Yep. So what do you guys think of this new car, man? Just the look of it.
Ooh, yeah, I am finally seeing it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I sent Frank an image of that mugshot like about a week and a half ago, and it was a picture my brother sent me, and it was a meme saying like comparing like holding in a fart versus a poop.
But yeah, this car is man, it's everything that I've wanted in a Prius and way more. So I think it looks nice. It drives nice. It's and I don't say it just because it's shiny. I mean, I owned. Thanks, Leg. I really appreciate that. I owned obviously my old Prius, the 2008 version, and this thing is miles and miles and
my
miles
biggest
better.
challenge to getting in a hybrid would be to charge the thing because
Well, no, you don't have to. Listen, Eric, you don't have like certain hybrids. You don't have to charge. You just brake and it charges on the way. So there's some like this.
I can't go full electric though because of that.
No, you can't go full electric.
Because otherwise, I'd have to like do quick charges all the time, which is not good for the battery in the long run.
Yeah, well, I don't. I didn't go fully electric, even though I thought about it because I want to go long distances sometimes. So,
Well, the long distance thing isn't really an issue, and it's becoming even less an issue over time.
Well, no, it's still a thing because the max you can get
if
is
you want to
about-
go super long distance, but like I think 300 miles and then charging might be okay.
Nah, that's only if you want to do it in town. If you want to take a trip.
If you want to drive all the way to Florida, yeah, then no.
Well, that's what I'm. Eric, see, there's the interrupting thing again, man. Like for me, it's 750 miles to Vegas. So, it's having an electric car would not have done me justice. But this car is gonna do just fine. It gets about 550 miles to a tank of gas. Plus, you can drive 40 miles with a fully charged electric battery on its own without using gas at all. So it's pretty nifty. I'll have to fill up maybe once on the way to Vegas. And I can charge the vehicle.
Did you just say nifty?
Yeah, nifty.
Yeah.
It's pretty nifty.
Frank proving how old he is again.
Stop it. I hate you guys. You guys suck. Yeah, so pretty good stuff there. All right, let's move on to our free for all. We got to do this as quickly as we can because we're running really short. All right, Break, take us through. I'm going to get the tournament up here in just a second. We announced it last week. Mascots.
Did I share it with you yet?
Yes, you shared it.
Oh.
I got it. So,
I didn't get it.
well, just
I'll share with others.
nobody wants to drive to Florida, Slagar says.
Why would you even want to go to Florida anyway?
I drove to Florida.
Breakman Firehouse is fantastic. That's where Bernie works. So she's a general manager at Firehouse. I highly recommend going to Firehouse.
Cool.
They have
I like
fantastic.
Florida.
They're little.
I've only been there once, but like the sandwich I had was really good.
Yeah, they're great, man.
I'm gonna have to find them.
Yeah.
Whoops! I didn't mean to put that in chat.
Oh, we have the best meatball around right now.
Oh, the pizza sub is really good. If you guys
I've
like
never been a
meatball
fan
subs.
of meatball subs.
This one's pretty good. I'm not a big fan either, Eric.
Well,
But
mostly because I'm worried about it getting the bread soggy.
oh yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
I
That's
didn't
good.
eat that. I didn't mean to send it.
Slagar said, "Shit, I was bragging about my car getting 40 mpg. 40 mpg is really good, Slagar. It's nothing to sniff at. But this car gets on average about
Well, it's in chat. Everybody can get it now. Sorry about that.
about 50 mpgs. But with the electric battery, it can get up to 100 and I think 17. So if you don't drive it like a race car, then you can get about 100 and
You still need to do oil changes.
All right, we got 32 of these. We need to get going.
yeah. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Okay. We're gonna start our tournament of mascots.
Freak 5 or something
I've
else.
broken it down into several brackets. I have got the people bracket, the tunes bracket, the animals bracket, and the everything else bracket. I just
All
ran
right.
out. So we're going to start off with the Jolly Green Giant versus Mikey. Those who grew up in the 80s always heard the Mikey likes it slogan. Mikey from like cereal. I'll go ahead and start this one out. I love Life cereal, but Mikey's just a little kid, whereas the Jolly Green Giant goes ho ho ho. I gotta go to the Green Giant.
The original Santa.
How about you, Frank?
I'm going with Green Giant as well.
You there?
Yeah.
Jolly G moves on.
Yeah.
Next we have the Ronald McDonald versus, I don't know if anybody remembers this guy, the Maytag Repairman.
Of course I remember
He
Maytag.
sat around doing nothing because the Maytags never broke was the gag.
Right.
He was dying for work and he didn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
Frank, you can start this.
Ronald McDonald, hands down, man. I mean, I think Ronald McDonald's going to win this whole thing, man. To be
Eric?
honest.
Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, I gotta go with you. Ronald McDonald also moves on. Next we have the Burger King versus the Sprint guy, and I think everybody remembers. Are you there yet? Oh,
Yeah.
no, sorry. That's the wrong one. Can you hear me now? That's what I meant to say.
Freak 5 is
Internet.
exiled, and Slagar says Mikey had one commercial. No, he had a few, but they were all terrible, I think, in my opinion. But
And there was like a contest at one point for new Mikey. Yeah, like there was a whole thing with Mikey. Burger King guy versus the Sprint Mobile guy.
Burger King guy.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Because that became like such a big thing, and we still use it today. I gotta go with this. Can you hear me now, guy? Sprint Mobile guy. So Frank, you're a tiebreaker on this one.
yeah, I'm going with Burger King because and for one reason only, not because I'm spiting you, Break, but because I want to see Ronald McDonald go up against the Burger King. Sell it once and for all,
Well, we'll find out. There's a chance. Next we have, and this one, I think it'll be a dark horse to win. For those who grew up in the 80s, we all love this guy, Fred the Baker. Got to make the donuts.
Oh, this is so good.
Versus Flo from the Progressive commercials. I'm going to start this one out, and I got to go with Fred the Baker. He's got to get there to make the donuts. He got there so early one time that he found himself making the donuts. That was crazy.
I think I'm in agreement, Breakman, Fred the Baker. Those were great commercials. He got up all groggy, time to make the donuts. And Flo is underrated in her beauty. I think she's kind of hot in a way. I don't know. Slagar says Maytag was great, but Ronald. And then Sprint, the ATT girl with the big. I agree, Slagar. She was in a movie, Slagar. I can't remember what movie that I. Oh, it was Werewolves Within. Watch that movie because she's hot. You, Eric, what did you pick?
I picked Burger King just because, he's creepy.
No.
No, we've moved past that. We're on Fred the Baker versus Flo.
Okay, Fred the Baker then.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Next, we have Colonel Sanders, who is actually a real person, versus the caveman Geico commercials, who were so funny they got their own show, which got canceled after like 3 episodes because the show was not funny. Frank, you can start this one out.
Freak Pipe said Flo.
Colonel Sanders actually shot somebody too, like real person who shot somebody. That's what they have to say.
Scotoma says Flo.
Were they a Nazi?
No, it was like I forget what it was about. Like they shot first. Like he was shooting back. Like I think they killed the guy that Sanders was with or something. Something like he fired back. He didn't start it.
Scotoma says Flo my dick in her mouth. She's pretty hot, man. Understated hot, man, no doubt. Who goes first on this one, Break?
You get to go first.
I'm going with the caveman just because like Colonel Sanders like garb just irritates me. I love KFC, but just that whole Civil War kind of garb that he Southern I mean there's no evidence that Colonel Sanders was ever racist. I don't believe. I could be wrong, but I don't know. It just kind of reminds me of that, So I got to go with the caveman.
Yeah, not that I love it. I thought everybody was racist back then, so it's hard to say. Eric, you're next.
Caveman, I guess.
Wow, I can't believe the cavemen are going to move on. I was going to actually say Colonel Sanders, and I'll tell you why. A few years ago, they had a campaign where they had different actors playing.
Oh, I did like that. That was fun. That was really fun. They had like they even had Melissa McCarthy, I believe, do Colonel Sanders.
There was a woman, Colonel Sanders. I do remember that.
Yeah.
But the cavemen move on. Sorry, Colonel. Next, we have another real person, Chef Boyardee, who is actually a really great guy. Like, apparently, at one point, he sold his own name so his people that worked for him wouldn't lose their jobs. The Chef Boyardee name he sold to the company to save his employees' livelihood. But the Chef Boyardee is going to go against the Trojan Man. Who's changed over the years.
Was he really a mascot? I just remember him being a voice over.
It's changed over the years.
Yeah.
It's like a real guy now, but yeah, it was like just a voice at one point.
Wasn't there a fan flick where Boyardee and Trojan Man were the same dude? I don't know.
I don't know. I never heard about that. Eric, you start this one.
I'm going with Boyardee.
I am also going to go with Boyardee.
Yeah, I mean, it's with the story like that. How could you not go with Boyardee?
He changed the name he changed the spelling of his name because nobody could pronounce it. Also,
yeah.
Next, we have the Marlboro Man, which is basically just a dude who looks like a cowboy, kind of like just wearing jeans and a plaid shirt next to like a wood fence or something like that usually, versus Mayhem, who is from the I forget which insurance company it is. I guess I should have wrote it on here, but he's the guy who's like
Allstate
from Mayhem, like me, and he destroys everything.
Allstate.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm going to start this one out. I think those commercials are funny. I'm going to go with Mayhem.
Scotoma is in full hot tub mode. He goes, the hamburger helper glove can give me a handy.
Hamburger handy. I don't know if I put hamburger.
That's the name of the episode, Hamburger Handy.
Hamburger handy. Let's see if I'm gonna go with Mayhem for sure, man. I mean, Marlboro Man, cowboy, very generic, man. Yeah. Mayhem for sure.
Also anything involving cigarettes, fuck it. So I'm voting for Mayhem.
Yeah.
Mayhem goes. Oh wow, we've had a lot of agreements today. I wasn't expecting that one. We might have some disagreements on this one though. Captain Obvious, who dresses like a captain, I guess. I don't know what is that outfit he is wearing.
I have no idea.
Who's going there? Versus Juan Valdez, which I guess they considered a racist stereotype, and he's gone. You know.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment, Breakman. It was definitely very fucking racist, man. If you look at those commercials today, they do not hold up whatsoever.
Like I said, there are controversial picks on here. I put some controversy in it.
No, that's okay. No problem. Who's going first on this?
I think, who started the last one? I think you did. So it's, no, I did.
Okay.
So it's you, Frank.
I'm going with Captain Obvious for the obvious.
Obviously, right?
Yeah.
Eric?
Captain Obvious.
Yeah, I agree. Captain Obvious. I thought, especially the commercial where he visited himself from the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, "Man, is there anything else? Yeah, we're bald."
That's pretty good, pretty fun commercial spots like that. We always bag on commercials, but
Juan Valdez is fucking racist.
Yeah, Juan Valdez is definitely racist, man, no doubt.
So that's a mascot that has disappeared long ago. Next, we have and we're moving on to the cartoon bracket of mascots. We have the Noid versus the Cool Spot. Who started last? Frank, Eric, you start this one.
Cool Spot got a much more fun video game than the Noid did.
Mm-hmm.
And the Noid was just ugly and gross, and why? So I'm voting for Cool Spot.
I'm going to disagree. I like the Noid. He was annoying, and he was always trying to steal the pizzas, but he was always getting like squished or crunched or beat in some funny way. So, Frank, you're the tiebreaker.
Ooh, this is tough. I mean, Eric makes a strong case with the video game, but we're going mascot only, and I think the Noid is a more visible mascot. I got to go with the Noid. Scotoma says Captain Morgan is my hero, and Slagar says Obi-Wan Valdez. Slagar. All right.
Yeah, I couldn't fit all the mascots. There are a lot of mascots. It's hard to get them all in.
And so, heaven forbid you put in football mascots because, man, I was telling Scotoma before we started if Ralphie.
Captain Morgan, you mean the alcohol, right?
We could do like a sports we could do that by itself.
We could. That would be pretty awesome because Ralphie would win the whole thing, but you know.
Next we have the California Raisins, which they had like songs and like I heard it through the grapevine, which everybody covered for some. Everybody who sang R&B sang that song for some reason at some point. Versus M&M's, who've been around for fucking ever too. I think their commercials have been around since so long as California Raisins, but they stayed. Mm-hmm. I believe I start this one out, and I love M&M's. I gotta go M&M's. Yellow M&M's my favorite. I'm rooting for him all the time. He's delicious. Frank,
this depends. Is this the version of this? Is this the sexy version of M&M's, or is this the tamed down version of M&M's?
This is any version of M&M's you want. They're all. I mean, the mascots have changed over the years. I like their whole the peeling the candy coating off to make it risque. Yeah, as a joke, like now they're just chocolate.
Yeah. I like the California Raisins as a mascot, but I hate raisins, so I'm gonna go with M&M's.
I like their songs though. Like they did a really good version of.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna vote for M&M's.
And since we're real quickly before we move on, I won't take too long on this. I saw, that "We Are the Children" video with all the singers back in the '80s. Break, you remember that?
I remember that. Yeah.
I hadn't seen that.
It was the '90s, not in the '80s.
I haven't seen that video. I think it was '80s, Eric. I haven't seen
Maybe
that.
'89.
I don't know.
I mean, and there were like everybody in that video. It was like
there
shocking.
was everybody, and a lot of those people are dead. Kenny Rogers was in there, Tina Turner, just so many, man, so many. It was crazy. Okay, moving on.
Next, we have Mr. Peanut, who's gone over a radical transformation the last few years, versus an old one, the Scrub and Bubbles.
Ooh,
I don't know if they still use those or not. I like those little weird-looking brushes with eyes on them. Frank, you start this one.
I can't stand the Mr. Peanut mascot because of that stupid little. He looked like a wrinkled version of wrinkled up peanut version of the Monopoly Man, and that always meant like money to me. So I'm like, I gotta go with Scrub and Bubbles because the Scrub and Bubbles were badass, man. Like you'd see that commercial and they would just go in and take care of business like they were superheroes, man. Scrub
I
and
know. I
Bubbles.
needed them to come do my work for me. Like, my bathroom needs it. Come here, boys.
Yep,
Or
Scrub and
girls,
Bubble, and you know what? I
Get rid
still
of that dirt.
I still have Scrub and Bubbles in my bathroom because it fucking works amazingly, man. You just spray that shit on, and you can let it sit there, and then just spray it down, and it's like fucking pristine, man. Scrub and Bubbles, 100%, man.
Eric?
That's my dark horse pick to win the whole thing, by the way.
I'm also gonna agree with you. Scrub and Bubbles were pretty neat.
I think the worst thing that
brushes
Mr.
with
Peanut
eyes.
ever did was Baby Nut.
Yeah, Slagar says F Mr. Peanut and is putting on the rich shit. I agree, Slagar.
And plus his the whole faking his death thing from like
Yeah,
a couple years ago,
yeah.
that's so
Scott-
stupid.
Scotoma says too classy for you. Definitely, Scotoma. I'm more, lower class than that,
He's
man.
eating the rich, Mr. Peanut.
Exactly. Fuck off, Mr. Peanut. All right. What else you
I
got?
didn't put, and I want Ronald McDonald to go up against the Burger King, but I didn't put them together because I figured they'd get to each other. Now these two I figured might not get to each other. I wanted to put them together. The elves. We have the Keebler elves versus the Snap, Crackle, and Pop elves.
Oh, this is good. This is
Eric,
really
you
good.
start this one out.
I'm gonna go with the Keebler Elves.
Ugh. Horrible choice, Eric.
I can't.
Horrible choice.
I don't really care much about either of them, so I just made a choice.
The Keebler elves always kind of reminded me of the Smurfs, like the
Smug little fucking Keebler elves.
Yeah,
Fuck the
like-
Keebler elves.
in Snack Crackle Pop, like your cereal makes the noise and stuff like. I'm gonna go Snap Crackle and Pop.
Yeah, I am too because I can't stand that lead Keebler elf, the older one that was like always
Here's
in
why I
charge.
didn't really care. I knew you two.
He was like fucking like all hoity-toity and like, oh, look at me, dancing around and fuck that guy,
Slinger's
man.
Like, I think this category is also a Pornhub category.
Snap, Crackle, and Pop at least had names. Fuck that Keebler elf piece of shit, man.
Yeah, those are names of 3 hookers that have screen names. Whatever.
Yeah, Snap, Crackle, Pop for sure.
With those kind of names, I'd want an STD test first. Next, we have the Pillsbury Doughboy versus Lucky the Leprechaun from Lucky Charms. Yeah, he's magically delicious, but the Pillsbury Boy goes hee hee when you put your finger in his stomach, you poke him, and he goes hee hee. I love that. I gotta go with the Pillsbury Doughboy. Frank, you're next.
This is easy, man. I mean, it's definitely Pillsbury Doughboy. I mean, there's no other mascot on here that took the tickle punishment like Pillsbury Doughboy, man, for sure. You, Eric?
The Doughboy.
Yeah.
And Doughboy moves on. Next, we have the Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah. Oh wait, that was more like Randy Munchman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like that's more Kool-Aid Man. Versus somebody else that liked being tickled, the Snuggle Bear. You guys remember the Snuggle Bear, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do they even have Snuggle anymore? I don't think they do, man.
I know the brand
Yeah, they do.
exists,
Not here.
but I don't think they advertise anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't.
I think Frank starts this one.
I gotta go with Kool-Aid Man, man. That motherfucker broke through fucking brick walls to give you Kool-Aid, man. That's service right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but think of all that property damage.
He didn't give a shit, just like Marvel superheroes, man. He's like, fuck
Yeah.
this, I'm getting you your Kool-Aid. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this commercial ends like the parents run downstairs like,
Give
I
me
just
that sweet liquid.
Yeah.
I'm voting for Kool-Aid Man.
Well, Kool-Aid Man is going to move on. I was actually going to vote for Kool-Aid Man too, so it's a trifecta. The bear was cute and all, but he's Kool-Aid Man. He's cool. He's cool. Next
Plus,
we have
all know if they moved on, they would have lost to Doughboy anyway.
Yeah.
next we have a couple cereal mascots. We have Captain Crunch, in his captainship and captain hat and incredibly bland cereal, versus Sonny the Cuckoo Bird, who's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's kind of like an even more hyper version of Woody Woodpecker. Which, I mean, if he's eating all that chocolate sugar, of course he's going to be all hocked up and stuff like that. Eric, you start this one.
I'm voting for Sonny.
Sonny. I don't really care either way, so I'm gonna put Frank on the spot, and I'm gonna go with Captain Crunch.
Before I get to that, Scotoma says he thinks Frank is getting too passionate about the elves topic.
Those elves looked at him wrong one day.
I know, man. Where did they touch me on? That show me on the doll where they touched me, right, Scotoma? I gotta go with Sonny the Cuckoo Bird just for what you said, Break, for sure. I hate Captain Crunch, man. Ugh. Yeah.
It's not good. Sonny moves on. Next, we have
Cocoa Puffs is better. So, anyways.
a couple of old ones that I have not seen in a long time. The Crash Test Dummies, not the band, versus Twinkie the Kid.
Who the fuck is Twinkie?
He's the mascot for the Twinkie. He's basically a Twinkie and a little cowboy outfit.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know he had a name.
Slagar's wrong in chat. He says even me and Frank don't remember Twinkie Kid. I actually do remember the Twinkie Kid, Slagar.
I do remember Twinkie Kid too. I am gonna go with the Crash Test Dummies. I thought their commercials were funny, but I guess I can see why they don't want like people looking things driving into walls as an advertisement. Frank, you're next.
I'm going with Crash Test Dummies.
I'm going with the dummies too.
Well, I'm confused if Frank's going for the group here or the actual dummies. He's over here humming their music.
Well, I mean, you just brought it up, man. I gotta, give him proper credence, man. All right.
Next, we move on to the animal bracket. We have another cartoon star, Tony the Tiger. He's great versus Charlie the Tuna, which I haven't seen in a very long time. I don't remember what his slogan was.
He didn't have a slogan, but this one's super easy, man. Come on, Tony the Tiger. Let's move on.
Tony.
Yeah, I think we all agree.
I mean, come on, man. That's super easy, man. Super easy.
Now, this one's going to be super hard, I think, because these are two fun time places.
Oh, this is easy, man. I can watch.
I mean, Jeffrey the Giraffe from Toys R Us versus Chuck E. Cheese, who, obviously is Chuck E. Cheese.
This is easy. You want me to go first, Brady?
I think you start this one, yeah.
Okay. It's Jeffrey the Giraffe by a mile because you bring up Jeffrey the Giraffe and it's super joyful. You bring up Chuck E. Cheese to half of the audience and it's super fucking traumatizing. So
all those animatronics that scare you.
Yeah, it's Jeffrey, man, by a mile.
Yeah, I'm voting for the Giraffe.
Scotoma is exiled, you son of a bitch, Scotoma. So that come from the Time Before Time.
Chuck E. Cheese just because it was made by that one guy who video games and stuff that I can't remember his name. He was a dick and everything, but what was his name? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Nolan Bushnell.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese was made by Nolan Bushnell.
Oh, wow. The Atari guy.
Yes.
Yeah. The more you know. The more you know.
What?
The more you know.
Next, we have the Trix Rabbit, who doesn't have a name for whatever fucking reason, versus Limu the Emu. Eric, you start this one out.
I'm gonna vote for the Emu. I hate the dude that's with him. Emu's infinitely more entertaining than he is, just because he's just doing his bird thing.
I love the rabbit. We're rabbit. Tricks are for kids, and not a goddamn one of those little selfish brats ever gives him any.
I know. You gotta have some sympathy for Tricks Rabbit. Wait, where is Limu Emu? Is that like that emu commercial?
It's from another insurance.
The insurance? Yeah, I'm gonna go with
like
Tricks
they're
because
wearing yellow and like that.
Yeah. Fuck.
And it's like supposed to be like a '70s cop show.
Yeah, I'm going with the reasons that you said, Breakman. Tricks Rabbit for sure.
The Tricks Rabbit moves on. I'm happy to hear that. And Mrs. Breakman is actually happy to hear that too because she hates that commercial. The Limu.
Yeah.
Next we have Chester Cheetah versus Mr. Al. Mr. Al's an obscure one for us old folks.
I know Mr. Al.
Yeah, I guess that obscure for us old folks. You and me. We do remember Mr. Al. He knows how many bites it takes to get through a Tootsie Roll Pop.
Licks.
Well, oh, I'm sorry. He would never bite. You're right. Licks.
Except at the
start
end.
This one out, and I like cheetahs. They're really cool and stuff. Yeah. Chester had a game too.
They're all terrible, and I think
Yeah,
Chester's a terrible character.
I like the character, but I'm going to go Mr. Owl.
I kind of hated all those cool guys with attitude characters from that era. So
I get it. I can understand that, yeah.
I'm going with Mr. Owl.
Mr. Owl. Frank?
I'm also going Mr. Owl because I hate fucking Cheetos, man. They're the worst fucking things ever. And Bernie's looking at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah.
I hate Cheetos because they're like, most of the time I get them, they'd be stale and hard to chew, so fuck them.
Yeah.
So Mr. Owl's getting shared. Wow.
I don't think
Slegar says,
very well.
again, Owl is in like one commercial. Yeah,
and next we have the the Energizer Bunny, but it's a mineral commercial for our generation. You know, we all know that.
Yeah.
Energizer Bunny versus Spuds McKenzie. I think this is an easy one. I'm gonna go ahead and start. Spuds McKenzie was fucking cool. I gotta go Spuds McKenzie. The little dog with a little spot around his eye, and like he was a big deal at the time, like for a few months back in the years.
This
Yeah.
is a Budweiser mascot, right?
Bud Light, I think. Maybe no. Was it Bud Light?
No, yeah, and also that same type of dog was used as a Target icon.
Yeah. I'm going for Spuds. The Energizer Bunny is literally a toy, and that's it.
And Slagar makes a great point. Spud had bikini chicks. Yeah, man. The Energizer Bunny was fucking annoying. It keeps going
So
and
are
going.
you going Spuds too, Frank?
Yeah, obviously, man. No
Yeah,
doubt.
I mean, Energizer Bunny. Yeah, like people don't want to hear a goddamn drum all night long. Fuck you, you little fucker. Turn off for goddamn.
Yeah, exactly. Boom, 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 boom.
Next, we go back to the 80s. We have Smokey the Bear. You know, don't leave your fires unattended, and they'll cause sport. I don't remember what the fuck he used to tell us, but it was always about forest
Only
fires.
you can prevent forest fires.
Yeah. Versus Morris the cat, that grumpy cat that was kind of Garfield.
I remember
the live
that.
version of Garfield. Sold 9 Lives cat food. I think his
Yeah.
picture still is on the bottom.
I think I'll go with Smokey.
I am going to go with Morris the cat and put because I like Morris. So Frank, you're on the spot.
I'm going with Smokey the Bear because the message was always on point. You know, I know I like Morris the cat as well, but I'm in a good.
I'm too young to know who Morris the cat is, so I can't give a fuck anyway.
I like Morris the cat.
Look him up, Eric. You might have a different opinion later.
This one's kind of interesting. A cartoon serial bird, Toucan Sam, versus the Budweiser frogs. Budweiser.
Oh God, I remember
Big
those.
for like a year, and then they still sell posters of it.
Yeah, they were big in the Super Bowl
Budweiser.
back in the day. Yeah, Slagar's like Budweiser.
You start this now, Frank.
This one's tough because I can't stand either one. I'm just gonna go with Budweiser. You know what? Never mind. I'm going with Toucan Sam because I can't stand Budweiser.
Because his nose knows.
Yeah, because his nose knows.
Yeah, I might as well do that because fuck the frogs. I think they were so unpopular. They were only like at least a 3-year campaign.
Oh yeah, only 3 years.
I was actually going to go with the frogs, but Toucan Sam moves on. The last of this category before we get to the final.
That's 3 years too many, by the way, Frank.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's 3 years too many. I wish he'd last not as long.
Yeah. At first it was fun, but after a while it got very tiresome.
Horse piss says Scotoma. I agree. Scotoma, terrible beer.
It's like 30 years ago, so it's been a long time. I'm far beyond that now. Next we have the Taco Bell dog. Like I said, there's going to be some controversial animals or some controversial categories on here. Versus another super controversial character, Joe Camel.
The
racist character versus
Joe Camel.
Versus someone who wants you to smoke cigarettes. So fuck the cigarettes. I'm voting for the dog.
I'm going with the dog as well, Break, because even though like it is kind of a racist trope, I mean it was all in good fun, and they had some cool ass little dogs for like stuffed animals that you could get at one point, and to this day I have one somewhere that still fucking works. It's crazy, yeah. Yo quiero Taco Bell.
I was gonna say that was the slogan, yeah. Next we have, this is the last bracket. We made great time. It's just now 9:00.
Joe Camel for cancer. Scotto says.
So we have like 8 more teams here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Michelin Man versus Alfred E. Newman.
Mad TV, right? Mad Magazine.
Mad Comics, Mad Magazine. Yeah, Mad TV.
Who's
Board
first,
game.
Break?
I think it was the best. That is still my favorite board game I've ever played. The Mad board game.
I never played that.
Oh, it was the best because your goal was to go broke.
I'm gonna go with.
Your goal was to lose your money to go broke. Like it was fun.
I'm gonna go with Michelin Man.
I'm gonna go with Alfred E. Newman.
Ooh, this is a tough one for me because I like both. But I like the clean look of the Michelin Man. He always looked very stately to me, like kind of superhero to me, you know?
You gotta fix your fucking tires, man.
Alfred E. Newman used to kind of creep me out, Breakman. Like the covers of Mad Magazine always featured Alfred E. Newman, and he'd be like dressed as Cher, and it just looked weird, you know. Like I don't know. I like Mad Magazine quite a bit, but that
the content of the magazine is better than the caricature.
Yeah, I agree.
Represented it.
Yeah.
Next, Michelin Man moves on. Next, we have Mr. Clean versus something that probably me and Frank definitely remember. I don't know how many else. The Doublemint Twins.
Oh my God, this is pretty easy.
Start this one out.
Go ahead. Oh, me?
Yeah, dude.
Scotoma says, "Oh my God, you totally set up Mr. Clean to fail." Bald guy or boobies? The boobies definitely win, man. Doublemint Twins all the way.
I really shouldn't have done this to Mr. Clean. You're right.
Yeah, Mr. Clean.
I wasn't even thinking of it that way.
Mr. Clean
deserves scrubbing bubbles for Clean.
Yeah, Mr. Clean deserves so much better, but it's the Doublemint Twins, man.
Wait, how about this? How about I switch him out for?
Nope.
Little Debbie. I'm gonna switch This is Doublemint Twins versus Little Debbie.
Oh, this is easy, man. Doublemint Twins win again. You could put a Doublemint Twins up against anything and it would win. Break.
Yeah, I just want to see Mr. Clean.
What do you want, Eric?
I'm voting for the Twins.
The Twins too. Yeah, definitely the Twins. Twins. Next we have Mr. Clean versus the Cookie Cop, Dog, and Crook. It was
the Cookie Crisp.
Cookie Crisp, but I hate Cookie Crisp, so I'm voting for Little Debbie.
Cookie Crisp. You said it wrong. It's Cookie Crisp.
Cookie
Crisp.
Three on Mr. Clean. Mr. Clean's iconic. You're right. I really screwed the pooch by putting him up against Doublemint Twins.
So you actually moved Mr. Clean.
Yeah, he moved Mr. Clean.
I'm gonna go Mr. Clean. Frank.
I'm voting for Clean too.
Okay, I'll go with Clean, man. Yeah, it's clean sweep.
like I said, anything related to Cookie Crisp just die.
Yeah, it's not a good cereal. Like it sounds like it'd be good, and you get them out.
I kind of liked it. I don't know. I voted for Cookie Crisp in the cereal tournament.
If you eat it dry, maybe it'd be fine. But
it's good with
milk. As soon as you put in milk, it just disintegrates.
I liked it. I don't know.
No, I usually Clean. I didn't think they were okay. They were okay, is what I thought. Anyways, next we're moving with a guy who's really just on a package, the Quaker Oats Man versus the Charmin Bears. Their booties are always sore.
Slagar says Quaker Oats Man equals B. Arthur. I like that, man.
What a vote for the Quaker Oats Man.
Yeah, Scotoma says the Cookie Cop and Dog were cool.
Cops. All cops are bastards includes the Cookie Cop.
Yeah, I agree.
Girls now selling the Quaker Oats Man.
The cop was a bastard, Scotoma. The Cookie Cop was a bastard. He always got the dog.
I bet that Crook really didn't steal anything. He was just being a fascist.
Wasn't he just trying to steal the chips too? Like he wasn't trying to take the whole cookie.
Exactly. This is easy, man. Charmin Bears for sure, man. I mean, the Charmin Bears are so charming, you know.
Charmin.
Yep.
Eric?
Right.
I'm voting for the Charmin Bears.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Charmin's Bears. The Bears moved on. Sherman Booty Bears. Next we have I don't know if they still do these or not. The Raid Bugs.
Yeah, I don't think they do them anymore, but I remember the Raid Bugs for
That's
sure.
just a shame. Because they're always celebrating at the beginning and then, oh no, Raid!
Yeah. Yeah.
They always look so happy at the beginning before they get their comeuppance. Stupid
Yeah.
bugs. I'm gonna start this one out. Sorry, I didn't even say the second one. The Raid Bugs versus the Coca-Cola Polar Bears. I find their commercials annoying and dumb. I'm going with the Raid Bugs. Frank?
I'm going the opposite. I always thought the polar bears always brought joy to everybody. Breakman, if you remember their commercials, they were always very peaceful. Even though,
Yeah.
even though,
Peaceful, whatever.
even though,
Peace, joy, and happiness, whatever.
I
So
kind
we're gonna
of,
kill bugs for no reason.
I rather enjoy the Coca-Cola polar bears just because, for one, I like Coca-Cola very much, and for two, that those commercials were always about like kind of like just peaceful moments, just a second of peace. And the Raid Bugs is like, like high-strung bugs getting killed. I gotta go with the polar bears here, man.
Eric, you're the tiebreaker.
Polar bears.
Wow, that was quick. God damn. Polar Bears moved on. Next we have, I know I talked about the bear before. Don't think I forgot him. Woodsy Owl versus, this is, I think, maybe the last controversial character on here.
Yeah, I think I remember Cool Penguin. Cool Penguin is from the Kid Cuisine, isn't he?
No.
No, Willie the Cool Penguin was for cool cigarettes.
Oh.
Yes.
Like I
Yep.
said, this is a controversial one. So, Willie the Cool Penguin versus Woodsy Owl. I'm going to go ahead and start this out. Woodsy Owl, don't give a hoot, don't pollute. I mean, goddamn, every kid remember that in the 80s.
Yeah,
We all know that one.
Again, it's cigarettes, so I'm not voting for cigarettes. I'm voting for what's here.
Yeah, it's Woodsy Owl. It's easy.
Woodsy Owl moves on. Apparently, the cigarettes I should have put up against each other if I wanted one of them to move on, I guess. Next, we have the Travelocity Gnome versus the Hip Hop Hamsters for Kia Motors.
I don't remember the hamsters.
I do. They were awful, but the Travelocity Gnome is pretty awful as well. What do you think, Break?
I think they're both crap. I didn't like either one of them, so at least the gnome doesn't dance. Just sits there. The hip hop dancers are just bad dancers, and they're fucking hamsters.
The gnomes that look pleasant. I think that the hamsters can go fuck themselves.
Right. That's how I.
Yeah, I'm going with the
So
gnome.
vote for gnome.
I'm going with the gnome as well, knowing damn well it's going to lose next round.
Yeah, it might, but we'll see because it's going up against. And I may have said, excuse me, came out of nowhere. My bad. The Fox for Carfax versus, I think this is probably my dark horse. Actually, not my dark horse. This is the one I think is going to win. The most interesting man in the world, because those were the greatest fucking commercials ever made.
What was that for again? I can't remember.
Beer.
Dos Equis.
Dos Equis.
Beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, he did like all the coolest things ever. Like he was the most interesting man in the world. Like I'm going to start this one out. He's my personal hero, I think. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't remember this
But
guy.
those commercials were so fucking funny. Just it was absurd the shit he did. I gotta go with that.
Yeah, I'm
Those
voting for the dude.
Yeah, I am as well. And the cool thing about this guy is he was like 85 years old or some shit. Probably way younger than that. But in real life, the dude was a badass. The most interesting man in the world. And those commercials.
Those commercials came out like before the Chuck Norris jokes.
Yep.
Like he was like the Chuck Norris before Chuck Norris jokes.
Yeah, that guy was awesome in real life and interesting for sure. But here he is. He was probably 60, maybe 65, and he was doing these badass commercials, doing all kinds of interesting things. So I couldn't agree with you more. Break.
Awesome.
Could not
We're
agree.
done.
Yeah, we're done.
That.
I can't believe we got through all that.
It's over. It's only 9:12.
Yeah. So let's do our plugs and get the fuck out of here, guys. Breakman.
You can follow me at. All right, what? What do you mean, okay? Stop. You can follow me at RPGrinders on Twitter. I guess I'm not sure.
And soon RPGrinders on Blue Sky as well.
Guys.
Yeah. So, all right,
Okay.
Eric, you're next.
You can find my written reviews on bostonfashionarcade.com, or you can go to the audio feed and listen to my audio reviews there. And if you like either of those things and you want to support me, there is a link to my Patreon in either my Twitter or Blue Sky profile, which is at EricRPG, or ericrpg.bsky.social.
All right. You can follow.
I got nothing this week, but I had stuff to do, so that's why I couldn't get around to it.
Scotoma says Kool-Aid Man better win this. That's a strong contender, Scotoma, for sure. Anything else, Eric?
I just hope I can get the reviews for Lisa and Blasphemous 2 up soon.
Okay. Where was the Old Spice Man? Freak5 says Old Spice Man sucked, man. Sucks.
Old Spice commercials now are even
and Old
weird.
Spice is
terrible.
icky anyways.
I couldn't fit everything on. There's a lot of good mascots. I mean, I could have replaced some of the ones on here, but there's so many good ones.
I know it's a tough one. But maybe we'll do a mini tournament later. I don't. The Old Spice guy was always shitty to me. I don't know. I hate Old Spice anyways. It wouldn't have won. Freak5. You can follow me on Twitter.
They sell like the old flavor, the old scent of that anymore. They've got all those other scents, you know.
Yeah, they're much better, but still, that's not saying much, man. Holy shit, you went.
Not that I use it. I'm just saying.
You went from ass to slightly above ass. I don't know. You can follow me. I think I'd rather do Axe than Old Spice. But anyways, I hate both. But you can follow me on.
Are you still 17 or something?
You can follow me on Twitter at Frank Branches. You can follow me on all of the systems RPGrinders or Frank Branches. I think it'll take you to my stuff there. I also have another YouTube account, Mexican Longhair, where you can see now. I'm going to do more content on that channel because I now have a vehicle that I can reliably get around in and not have to pay a shit ton in gas. But let's see what else. I want to thank everybody in chat, Freak5 Chaos, Scotoma, Slagar. Thank you guys so much for bringing it every week. And some other users, 01 Ella, 7B Valette, HV Days, Commander Root, Discord for small streamers, which is probably a bot, Dropsnat, Kata, Spaffo, and by Mercy. Thank you all for joining the chat. And if you're listening on the YouTube archives, thank you guys so much. And funny T-Man / Eric is exiled. Son of a bitch. And that's about it. Let's see what else. I'm plugging Bernie's OnlyFans. You should see how she gets to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Roll Pop. How dare you, Freak5? You're exiled. How dare you dishonor the love of my life. Okay, that's about all we got time for. You guys have anything else?
Stay safe and if you live in America, enjoy good Labor Day weekend. Otherwise, I guess try to get through the start of the work week.
Yeah, and if you're in any other part of the world, keep laughing at us because we deserve it. Breakman, anything else?
No, not I can think of.
All right, stay safe this weekend. We want to see you back here next week. Until then, we are out. Later, everybody. Exile, Breakman. Son of a bitch. Get it right, it was a cave. Caveman. Son of a bitch.
So you were advertising for hugs. What did you tell like this?
Eric is exiled again.